What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class Cybertron universe Starscream. This is a figure I have personally been looking forward to for a long time because I grew up in the era of Transformers Cybertron. I think this is the first Cybertron Transformer I'm ever reviewing, and so when it comes to Cybertron, my relationship with Cybertron is I would wake up during the mornings of elementary school in the late mid 2000s, and the show that would be on, or at least that was just ending, was Transformers Cybertron. And so I grew up with this show, and I grew up around the time that these toys are being released in the store. And in fact, I have a good chunk of those toys. Well, not a lot of them, but I have a few of them still hanging around in my collection. And so when it came to Starscream as being one of obviously the main characters of the show, this is a character that I was never ever able to get the figure of, or at least I saw it in store, didn't care for it, something along those lines, right? You're a kid, so what are you going to do? But as soon as I saw this, I was beyond hyped to finally get a version of this character as true as possible to the original source material, and I'm so happy to finally have it. But with all my gushing out of the way and my explaining of my relationship with Cybertron out of the way, let's get into the box. As you can see, you do have the nice Transformers Legacy United. Do have some very nice artwork here of Starscream himself. You have the Cybertron Universe Starscream text right there. Here on the side, we have the 40 years of Transformers art. Then on this side, we have some more nice artwork of Starscream himself from Transformers Cybertron. And then we have our obligatory product shots, Transforms in 26 steps, where you use the Transformers. You do have a Cyber Cube, which we'll get into soon. But yeah, I think for the box, that's really about it. And so, without further ado, alrighty, folks, here is the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class Cybertron Universe Starscream finally in his jet mode, and I gotta say, this looks really good, and that came undone just a little bit, but not too bad. But absolutely spot on. I mean, this is pretty much a one-to-one representation of the original jet mode that we saw in the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a picture of it right here so you guys can take a quick look. But yeah, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with this. So taking a look at these details here, you do have this nice blue, indigo purple right here, very nice for the nose. Have some nice purple transparent here for the cockpit, red as well, a little bit of silver. This gray goes all around, and I understand that might be a drab gray, but it was certainly accurate to the show. In addition to that, you have more of that blue, purple, indigo here, nice wings here. Just a very cool looking Cybertronian jet, and you look at the underside here, it really does look pretty damn good, and it's a little bit, I didn't quite transform. There we go. Okay, we're good to go there. But yeah, you can see, I mean, everything looks really clean here. I mean, sure, it looks a bit weird and funky as a design, but this is how accurate it was to the show. I mean, this is pretty much as spot on as you can get. So when it comes to the accessories, first thing I'll show is the Cyber Key. So really cool here. You can see a very awesome little Cyber Key. It is small, much smaller than the ones that we got with the original Cybertron characters and the figures, but very cool nonetheless. And it just very easily, you can see there is the slot right there, exactly where it fit in the original show, and then you can just put it in there like so, and it stays in perfectly fine. The other thing I'd like to show is the storage of the gun. So that was what was coming undone here. So you can open this and you can remove this, and what you'll notice, let's take a look at the gun. Very nicely molded and very cool transparent purple, very accurate to the show. Well, not this in particular, but at least it's very cool looking, and the sculpt is very accurate. It's just that it wasn't transparent purple in the show, but very cool otherwise. So what you'll notice here on the bottom is that there are these two pegs right here, and on the bottom is sort of these wing parts of this gun. There are the two slots, and you can just very easily just plug this in there like so, and it goes in there just fine. Now, if you saw on the art, you can actually store it up here as well. So very similar thing here. So if I split these wings, and these wings do like to, this one in particular isn't the most secure, but what you'll notice here is you do have a very similar situation. So if you go under here to the wings, you do have these two little tabs there. So actually, I don't think it's necessary to really do this, but to make it maybe like so, just insert it right there, and like though, and bam, you can actually have this like this instead of under, but I actually like it. Just secure this in place like that. It looks fine, but I think it kind of ruins a bit of the silhouette of the jet, so I think that it's better to keep it under here, so without, at the end of the day, it's personal preference, but personally, I like putting it under. I think it just streamlines the jet a bit more, and so that makes me pretty happy here. But yeah, this just looks better overall, and so when it comes to the jet mode, I mean, I don't really have any major complaints about this thing. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And so, we're going to do some comparisons. So, we are going to set Mr. Starscream off to the side there. Here he is with the Legacy United Deluxe class Infernac Universe Magnus. As you can see, Voyager versus Deluxe. This is certainly much bigger, has a bit more heft to it than this guy. But yeah, overall, yeah, you can see comparisons here. I'll just put Magnus right here, so you have an idea of what it's like with another Legacy United figure. Gives you a decent idea there. But yeah, Deluxe versus Voyager, can't really complain here. This is a pretty solid scale. Alrighty, folks, and the last one we'll do is with the Transformers, I believe the Speedia 500 Velocitron Override, and as you can see, these two look great together, both Voyager figures. They are about the same length, and I think that out of the figures that we've gotten from the Cybertron universe, these two, in my opinion, are by far some of the most faithful. I think that they are just really, really solid overall, and they look fantastic, and I'm really happy to see both of them, because these two had some screen time together for a decent amount of time in the show, so to see these two scale relatively well together, I'm really all happy with it. So pretty solid stuff. Alrighty, folks, now that we've done the details and taken a look at the vehicle mode, let's go ahead and do the transformation. First thing I like to do is to remove the gun, get that out of the way, and we'll start off with the legs, so that these panels should already be flared out if you had it like mine, but if not, flare these out. And then you can accordion the legs, so you'll split them here, and you just accordion them now. You can remove these for easier access, so that they don't get knocked around, but I don't personally care to. So we'll just rotate these down like so, and then what we'll do is we will fold these bits here on the back, and all you got to do is fold the foot down, and then you're going to sort of make it fit in this slot. So it was kind of like this before, so you're just going to want to fit it like that, and then you can fold that down. So again, sort of fit it like this, fold that down, and what you can do is you can rotate them towards the front where the red is facing here, and here are the legs already done, so you have this part of the body already finished. So we'll move up here to do the rest of the transformation. So to do the rest of it, very, very simple. So these are actually plugged in like this, so all you got to do, you'll see they're pegged in there on those sides, so all you got to do, unpeg them and rotate them down like so. Then what you will do is we'll rotate them like so, and then we will untab these. We'll rotate them around. Now, these are the most annoying parts, in my opinion, of the transformation, because these don't like to stay in the best. You can rotate those however you'd like. Take these, fold these panels out like this. Rotate the fist down. Like this. Rotate the fist down. Rotate these out so that the gray bits are facing outwards. Take this entire section and rotate it down. And then as you're rotating it down, you can unplug this part here. Rotate the head around. What you'll do is when you fold this thing back, you'll notice that there's a tab there, and there's a hole there. You're just going to want to line these up so that they tab into place just a little bit, like so. And ladies and gentlemen, after we straighten him out, here we have the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class Cybertron Universe Starscream in his extremely good-looking robot mode. And so, folks, this is it's just a fantastic representation of what we saw with Starscream in the original show. So, I'll do the same thing as I usually do. We'll put him off to the side, and you guys can see a picture of how Starscream looks from the actual show. I mean, it's so uncanny how amazing that this guy looks in comparison to his model and what I saw on screen when I was a kid. Like, it's just absolutely fantastic. So for the gun, as you can see here, you can just hold it in his hand, and so you have that little peg hole right there, and then you just a peg there, and you have the peg hole in his hand. Very, very easy in his fist. Very, very cool stuff. But taking a look at the details, we're going to remove the gun. You can see the head sculpt is brilliant. I mean, that is as accurate as you can get to that original Starscream, pretty much. It is absolutely glorious. The silver for the face, the blue indigo for the majority of it, just, the molded in nose and the mouth with a little smirk. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I have more of that nice detail come out here. Here, you see all this nice molded in detail and the nice paint applications. The indigo comes out a little more here for the legs. Coming down here, just very, very nice overall. And the other thing I like about Starscream is besides the little winglets here, he has a very clean backpack. So very, very cool stuff there. Very awesome. Now you can remove these, as you saw in the transformation, they got knocked off. I do think he just looks weird without these on, because I don't think in the show these ever were supposed to come off. So I think it just looks weird, but you can use them and they can just be plugged on to different ports and whatnot. So whatever you want to do with that. The other accessories I'd like to show off are actually built in. So if you actually see on the inside of the arms, you can see these little purple bits here. You can flip these down and these become his arm blades, which are very accurate to the show and very, very cool. I think that it is very nice that they added these. They should technically be longer at the end of the day, but when it comes to their implementation, I think they're very well done. And then as you can see, taking a look at them, very nice molded detail here, and you can see the very nice purple transparent. Overall, really, really amazing. And just to get them out of the way, you can just flip them back up like so, and that's really about it. So absolutely fantastic stuff from Starscream here. Can't really complain with the looks department. Now I think the one thing I did screw up here, we're gonna just rotate these around like that. Yeah, the smaller pins should be facing the front. I just realized that when I was looking at it. But yeah, really amazing stuff from the Transformers, Cybertron, Starscream from Legacy United. They are doing a fantastic job with this guy. And so, for some quick comparisons, we're just going to set this guy off to the side here. Alrighty, folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Infernac Universe Magnus. As you can see that these two scale pretty well together, considering obviously Deluxe, and then we do have Voyager. So overall, really solid scale. Next up here, guys, we have the Transformers Speedy of 500 Velocitron Voyager class Override, also compared alongside Starscream. These two scale, I think, very well together as well. I believe this is around the size that they were if you take a look at the show in comparison to one another. So overall, really solid stuff here. And finally, guys, here is Starscream with the Transformers Leader Class Siege Galaxy Upgrade Prime. And as you can see, these two scale very well together. Optimus Prime was massive with his other stuff on, so very, very nice to see these two. I just wish that the Galaxy Upgrade Prime might get a redo soon, because this is just, you know, Galaxy Upgrade Prime or Cybertron Prime in a, you know, Ultra Magnus skin. So I hope he gets his own figure one day. Alrighty, folks, with that out of the way, it's time to get into the articulation of this guy, which is really freaking awesome. So taking a look at the head here, you do have a ball joint at the head, so you can do a full 360. You can also look down a decent bit. You can look up a decent bit as well. For the arms, you do have a full 360. And then you also have a little bit of out and in. And now what's cool about this joint is that this will bump into this. But what they thought about is if you move this, you can get some extra arm movement out of this, which is really, really awesome. So if you have it plugged in like this, you can only get up to about here, but if you untab this, you can get even more, and that's really, really awesome that they thought of this. And it even has a butterfly joint. This is the first butterfly joint I think I've ever seen on a transforming Transformer, and that's really awesome. So you can get about that movement. Rotation at the upper part of the bicep, you do have a little more than 90 at the elbow, and then you also have do you have, I forget, yes, you do have articulated wrists, which is even cooler. You have full waist here as well. No ab crunch or anything. I guess this is like your faux ab crunch, right? Then you can kick forward, you can kick back. Your legs can go out, they can go in. They have way more than 90 at the elbow, and then you have some wicked ankle rockers. So you can actually, just like some other awesome figures like Gears does, you can actually get this guy to do the splits, which is really awesome. So even, I wanted to remove those, but you can actually just keep these on. I removed that just to demonstrate that and forgot to put it back on, so we can just do that. And then you just move this out of the way just a little bit. And then you can get this, and there we have Starscream doing the splits. And that's really cool that this guy has this much of range of motion where you can do this. Alrighty, folks, and with that out of the way, it's time to get into the reverse transformation. So we're going to move this back up a bit, and we're going to zoom back out just a tad, and we will get into the transformation. So to start off, obviously straighten them out. And what I like to do here is actually the top section. So what we're going to do is we're going to untab this section in the back here. Well, if it doesn't do that, that happened. There we go. And what you're going to do here is after you fold this, you can take the head and you can just rotate it in. And then again, similar to transforming in, you want to line that tab up here so that that tabs into place. Rotate these wings up. And what you can do is you can then plug them together like so. Good to go there. Untab the entire back section, which is a bit scary because this tab here really kind of blows when you snap this back into place. But, you know, what are you going to do? From here, what you're going to do with the arms is kind of weird. So you rotate them like this, and then you'll fold the fists back in like so. So you do the same here where you rotate this around, rotate this out. Take these in, put it back like so. Rotate these around so that the gray bits are facing the inside, and then what you're going to want to do is there's a hinge here that there's like two separate joints. So you have one where it breaks here, and then you can rotate this all the way around. You want to bend the arm, and then what you'll get is you'll be able to plug it into that little tab in there. So again, what you're going to want to do, break it at this hinge, rotate this like so, bend the elbow, and then just plug this right in like so on both sides. Now, these tabs don't like to stay in very well. I don't know if it's the tabs that just aren't long enough or the holes aren't deep enough, but yeah, it's really annoying on that end. The other thing I like to do for now is to rotate these up so that they're out of the way. And what you can do from here is you can unfold these sections from the back. Then what you're going to want to do, fold the pointy bits like this from the toes. Rotate the legs in like this. Rotate them like that, fold them up, and what you'll notice is that there are tab holes behind the knee pads. I don't know if you can see those tab holes, and then what you'll notice on the side here, there's a tab right there that this will go into. What I like to do is fold the foot out just a little bit, rotate these in, and then you can tab this into place like so. That, and this will come undone. So tab this all in, same thing here, so rotate this around, tab that in. Then what you're going to want to do is rotate these in, and these will snap together. So rotate the pointy feet bits in. This, make sure everything is snapped together, plug those together, rotate these wing bits down like this, like that, and if you want to, what I'm going to do is untab these, I'm going to plug the gun back in here, fold these down, snap them together. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class Cybertron Universe Starscream back in his absolutely amazing looking jet mode. Alrighty folks, so from my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class Cybertron Universe Starscream, this guy's an absolutely fantastic figure. This is a figure that I've been waiting to get ever since I was a kid because I loved seeing Starscream on screen when I was a child. Like, it was just, you know, he was such a cool character in my opinion. Like, his design was very cool, regardless of what you think of the show. And so for me, as someone who was never able to attain that figure, the original figure from the original line when the show was coming out, I am so finally happy to have one. So let's get the bad out of the way. Some of the stuff doesn't like to tab together the best, and at the same time, he doesn't feel, I didn't mention this in the initial part, I should have, but he kind of feels a little light for a Voyager. I wish he was a little more dense. It's not awful at all, it's just he does feel lighter than I would necessarily expect him to be. And in addition to that, I do think that the gun being purple transparent plastic, I wish it was solid for that case, because again, it was more accurate to the show that way. But overall, really, really solid stuff either way. So the good, paint's really good, details really good, jet mode and robot mode are fantastic, and the transformation, while it does some things new to innovate the transformation to make it different from the original as we saw in the show, at the same time it still retains most of the core parts of that transformation and gives it to us in a nice remodernized package while also not being frustrating. So really, really awesome stuff. In addition, the accessories are really cool. You get the arm blades, which are very accurate, the gun very nicely molded in detail, very accurate in terms of its sculpt, and in addition to that, you get the little Cyber Planet key, which I wish and I hope that they include on all Transformers Cybertron Universe future releases. I really hope that they do. And so out of a 10, I'm going going to give this guy a 9. All of the faults I have for this figure are pretty minor, and so this is a figure I will wholeheartedly recommend you go buy and pick up, whether it's online or whether IRL. And speaking of, I did pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll leave a link in the description to that. Also leave links in the description to both Amazon as well as Hasbro Pulse, so you guys can pick this guy up as well. In addition to that, if you guys are going to be looking for this guy IRL, he should be hitting your stores within the next month or two, so I really hope and wish you the best of luck, and I hope you are able to find this guy, especially if you are looking for him IRL. And so with that, guys, I think that's about it. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials. Those will be linked down in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.